Hello, welcome back. So, Kenya, do you start?
Can you hear me? I think this is hi. Okay. Hi everybody. Thanks for being here. For the ones that doesn't know me, my name is Kenya Flores. I am a graphic designer and illustrator based in Germany, but I'm Mexican. And well, through my artistic work, I have looked to explore and reconnect with my indigenous Mexican roots. Currently, I work as freelancer here, and that's all. Well, the contribution I will present to you came as a result of all of this workshop, beautiful time spending together. And then we came in a moment where we were talking about the idea of letters. So first, I will share with you some thinkings about a letter. And then I can show you how this become into a flip book idea. So yeah, as I want to write a letter, the first thing I have to do is to find an addressee, or 2 or 10, or maybe no one at all. By looking for options in my mind, I feel I would like to talk to someone I can personally relate to, so I decide that the recipient will be a woman. Coming to the next step, do I need to think on a theme? Definitely, I want to talk about the paths I'm walking, being several kilometers away from the place where I was born, about all the revelations, coincidences, and incongruencies, about the process I'm going through to reconcile myself with my indigenous roots, to reencounter all my ancestors didn't want to share with me to prevent me being a victim of discrimination, exclusion, or backwardness. Everything seems easier now. I will write this letter to my grandma. It will be like talking to the place where I come from, to my personal family story. Besides, my eyes discover more and more. I imagine everything I will want her to see. Ironically, she will not be able to read that letter because she did not read to read or write. I could read the letter to her then. F for feminism. When was the first time I felt feminist? When I heard the word feminist for the first time. Living in a distant community without access to school or books, had my grandma ever heard the word feminism? Intersectionality collectives or sweetie dwellings? Could it be that the access to some concepts is also a privilege? Right now, I remember a very significant moment that I will share with you. Generally, I had romanticized the stories of partners who lived together until death, just like my grandparents. Months after my grandpa died, my grandma told me her love story. One time my grandpa stole her without her consent, and I actually understand that as a kidnapping. After she didn't come home one night, her parents told her she no longer had the right to come home and forced her to get married. So horrible stories can be also told as love stories. I'm now wondering how this fact influenced my construction as feminist. Regardless of that, I reflect that this was probably the first time that my grandma and I talk about our experience of being a woman. Just thinking, what makes two people break through that surface we inhabit inside our skin to open that container, to let experiences out and let others in, to try to empathize, of course, inevitably filtered by our own beliefs. Okay, do you know a keyword? Limit. A real or imaginary line that makes the end of a surface or a body, or the separation between two entities. Language as a means of sharing stories. El lenguaje también puede convertirse en una barrera. Memories. I believe that sharing stories through words can be a means to cross the skin border, narrating stories. Our skin will be transitional spaces which can be crossed to observe the world from other eyes. Probably I will never manage to understand the world from the eyes of my grandma. From her perspective, God is the answer to everything. He wants her to live the life that she had, regardless of social injustice, gender inequality, or racism. Questions, so many questions. Respuestas, ¿cuántas respuestas a estas preguntas? sliding back, sharing stories can open the container we inhabit, cross boundaries to push horizons, to cross this transitional space between two minds, no matter that they come from two places far away geographically. Transition, cambio de posición, estado, concepto a otro. Usually when two areas mix, do they overlap or do they blend? Living in the borderlands creates a clear space between cultures and social systems. The word borderlands denotes that space in which anti-ethical elements neither to obliterate each other nor to be subsumed by a large whole. That's something from Borderlands, the New Mestiza book. Vomit, verb. Eject matter from the stomach through the mouth. There are expressions that escape that surface that encloses individual because they cannot be contained. Weep, euphoric laughter that causes stomach pain and schizophrenic joy, for example, or random container through spoken aloud. Xochitl in Nahuatl mean flowers. Flowers in Español mean flores, as my last name. Nahuatl, like my grandparents' mother tongue. You have crossed the border there to enter a part of my personal container through my thoughts expressed in this text. Now I want to share with you my last concern. The more we share experiences, memories, and learning, the more we allow them to live and to spread. So this information remains in this experiential plane, or what will happen to all those contained stories that never cross the border of the skin to come out? Will that information remain inside forever? Zigzagging across the shoreline that delimits the known space. Taking the step that will put us outside is not always easy. As a child, and because of the context in Mexico, I learned that borders were places of distrust, conflict, and danger. Crossing that umbral generates uncertainty, perhaps a little fear or discomfort of not knowing what will be found on the other side of the border. What ideas, questions, or revelations I will find on the other side, there in the other experience of being a woman. And thank you. And well, this is a video about the making of, but it's not moving. But I think it's.
You can see the video on www.sweatydwellings.hotglue.me. So have a look. We will have a look here at the MKG.
And well, all of those thinkings about borders and transitional spaces become into some illustrations and this flipbook object that you can see, and that was everything.
So bold, I did not see the light, but I got a taste of what it might be like. What's that gonna feel bad? It's just natural.